Braveheart is a 1995 American epic historical fiction war film directed and co-produced by Mel Gibson, who portrays William Wallace, a late 13th century Scottish warrior. The film grossed $210.4 million worldwide. In this video, we will discuss the main characters in this movie, their real name, age and how do they look now. Mel Gibson as William Wallace is the leader of the Scottish uprising against the English. Initially reluctant to fight, he starts a rebellion at Lanark after the murder of his wife, which spreads throughout Scotland. He wins a battle at Stirling. He is defeated at Falkirk and goes on the run for the next few years before he is eventually captured and sentenced to death. Angus MacFadyen is Robert de Bruce, a Scottish noble who is a contender for the vacant throne of Scotland. He admires Wallace but is unable to take a side due to the jeopardy it would place him in politically. He ultimately stands up for himself as a leader and leads the Scottish to victory at Bannockburn after Wallace's death. Catherine McCormack is Murren McClanoe, a childhood friend of Wallace who later becomes his wife. Her execution by the English is what provokes Wallace's rebellion. Smythe tries to rape her before Wallace steps in and refused to reveal where Wallace escaped to before she is executed. She also refused to beg or plead for her life. Brendan Gleeson as Hamish Campbell is William Wallace's best friend and one of the Scottish revolutionaries. He honors Wallace at Bannockburn by tossing Wallace's sword and starting a chant in his name before charging into battle. He kept Wallace's sword after his execution. James Cosmo as Campbell the Elder is Hamish's father and one of the revolutionaries in Wallace's army. He was also a good friend to Malcolm Wallace. He struck in the gut with an axe at Falkirk and states before dying he is content with dying for having lived his life as a free man. Ian Bannon as Robert the Elder, the Lord of Annandale and Robert Bruce's father. He is suffering from leprosy and has no chance of becoming King of Scotland but hopes to ensure his son's claim by officially supporting the English. He betrays Wallace to the English, which infuriates his own son. Bannon was died, aged 71, in a car accident near Loch Ness in November 1999. John Kavanagh is Craig, a Scottish noble and an ally of Robert de Bruce who betrays Wallace to the English. He appears to be Bruce's friend, but is secretly in league with the English. Despite Bruce's wishes, Craig does everything he can to sabotage the rebellion to avoid conflict with the English. Alun Armstrong is Mornay, a Scottish noble who initially assists Wallace in the rebellion before betraying him at Falkirk. He ensures Scottish victory at Stirling by leading the cavalry in. Inverted at Falkirk, where his refusal to deploy his cavalry ensures English victory. Wallace smashes his face in for his betrayal. John Murda is Lachlan, a Scottish noble who initially assists Wallace in the rebellion before betraying him at Falkirk. Wallace hunts him down and kills him for his betrayal. His treachery is indicated when he makes a shady aside glance to Mornay before leading his cavalry away. Tommy Flanagan is Morrison, one of Wallace's soldiers who took part in his uprising at Lanark. He has a personal vendetta against the English due to his wife becoming the victim of prima nocte by Lord Bottoms. After capturing Bottoms' outpost, Wallace grants Morrison the honor of killing him. Sean McGinley as McClanoe is Murren's father, who disapproves of her marrying Wallace. He refuses to give Wallace his blessing to marry Murren. This isn't due to any personal dislike of Wallace, however, but is instead because he fears her being subjected to prima nocte. Patrick McGoohan as King Edward the Longshanks of England is the King of England and seeks to rule over Scotland. He tries to form an alliance with his chief rival, France. He takes the Scottish rebellion more seriously after Stirling and York and seeks to capture and execute Wallace. McGoohan was died, aged 80, in Los Angeles on 13 January 2009. Peter Hanley as Prince Edward of England is the Prince of England and Longshanks' incompetent and ineffectual son. He has no interest in his wife Isabella. He's gay and in an arranged marriage, so he spends more time with Philip than Isabella. He tries attacking his father with a knife following Philip's murder and gets beaten by the king. Malcolm Tierney as the magistrate is the one who executes Murren in an attempt to draw Wallace out. His actions instead result in his death and rebellion against England. Wallace kills him in the exact same manner as he executed Murren. Malcolm Tierney was died, aged 75, in London, England on 18 February 2014. Stephen Billington as Philip is Prince Edward's High Counselor and his lover. He and Edward stare at one another during Edward's wedding, which indicates their apparent relationship. He gets killed by Longshanks of England. Gerard McSorley as Cheltham is the English second-in-command and field commander at Stirling. He tries to convince the Scottish nobles at Stirling to stand down, promising them lucrative lands in England. After his cavalry is annihilated, he personally leads the English infantry into battle at Stirling. Michael Byrne is Smythe, an old English soldier who tries to rape Murren. He comments to Murren that she reminds him of his daughter, then tries to rape her right after. His attempt to rape Murren leads to her execution, which motivates Wallace to revolt. He got killed by Hamish with an axe in the back. David OHara is Stephen the Irishman, a devoutly religious Irishman who joins Wallace's army. He claims to talk to God and that Ireland is his island. After killing Fodrin, he turns to Wallace and says, "I never liked him, he wasn't right in the head." Sophie Marco as Isabella of France is the wife of Prince Edward. She is sympathetic to Wallace and later aids him in secret, ultimately mothering a child from him, with whom she intends to replace Longshank's line. She demands time with Wallace in his cell so that she can give him a sedative. If you like this video, press the like button and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.